This is News 6 Tonight.
Hey, welcome. I'm supposed to say hi. My name's Matt. Glad to have you with us on News 6 Tonight. It
wasn't 10 seconds ago that he said, I will start, and you start the first.
I'm still trying to come off this vacation and have a functioning brain, Ginger. Stop laughing at me. I'm sorry. My name's Matt Austin. This is Ginger Gadsden.
Because the look I get from him is like,
what are you doing? Go. But it was my turn. I accept all of the issues that ever come from this show. It is on me. What do you have for us tonight, Gigi?
This is my life. It's like my life at home too. It's so
we don't live together.
No,
just so you know.
But I get to live with someone who is just like him, which makes it even better. Hello, everyone, and welcome to News 6 Tonight. That's Matt Austin. He already introduced himself. And I'm Ginger Gadsden. We have a lot going on. It's just Tuesday. I don't know where this year has gone, but the thing that has not changed is people are still trying to rip other people off. We talk about scammers all the time. People, and one of our investigators, Lewis Bolden, does such a great job of finding the right people and telling these stories. The latest thing that it's not even the new thing, but it's these skimmers. The new thing is they have become so sophisticated and hard to detect. Before they were kind of bulky and you could, like, anytime I pay for gas using my card, I will shake the little machine. To make sure it's on there really good. But now he says people are just, you could be standing there and they slip it in there and you don't even know that it's happening. It is just, it's frightening, it's scary. And one of the things they're trying to crack down on, he's working with the Secret Service, and they have this 2-day operation where they're going to like 1,000 stores. Just think of gas stations. Is this happening? It's grocery stores. It's the little corner store. Anywhere there is a place that will take your credit card, you can put a skimmer in there and it will just steal all your identification. They're trying to crack down on people who are scamming people who use EBT cards and have SNAP benefits, because those cards aren't as sophisticated as, say, a credit card with a chip or whatever.
Yeah.
And here's Lewis Bolden talking about what they're doing with this operation.
Credit card skimmers steal about $1 billion from Americans every year. I'm News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden. The Secret Service has already done about 20 of these operations around the country and now Central Florida to crack down on these crimes. Credit card skimmers, scanning your card and stealing your money. The Secret Service teamed up with 10 local law enforcement agencies and fanned out across Central Florida.
So this is one of the tools that we utilize.
Investigative analyst James Burkett uses a skim scan to check this ATM machine in this convenience store.
Essentially, we insert it in, and then it pops that it's red.
Meaning a skimmer is inside. He immediately dismantles it.
This is where the pinhole camera is back here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pop this out. This is the battery pack, little SD card that's in here.
The camera is to record your PIN number. Next, he pulls out the actual skimmer. So the
Essentially.
camera gets your pen,
Correct.
and then the skimmer gets all the data off the card.
Correct.
And they've got everything they need.
Yes, sir.
And it's big business for criminals. According to the Secret Service, skimmers steal an estimated $1 billion per year. Check out how quickly it happens. Law enforcement tells News 6 this surveillance video captures a suspect putting a skimmer on the card reader. Network intrusion forensic analyst Coriana Thompson uses what's called an easy sweep to detect skimmers.
They'll distract the cashier and they'll just download the data. It'll stand here. All they have to do is it takes seconds.
That last one, the guy standing in line and he's just kind of hovering
You
over.
would never notice.
No, you wouldn't see that sort of thing. Unbelievable. So just be careful. And because no one uses cash anymore.
Yeah.
Very few people anyway.
I was interested to see that the jiggle routine does not work.
Doesn't
'Cause
matter
I
anymore.
always,
Yeah.
always at gas station. I never thought that they could be so crafty and so quick at an actual grocery
I don't
store.
want to be at the Publix going,
Yeah. Hey Tammy, are you sure that this thing's not? And the size of it, how they just stick it
Yeah.
up in there,
So
and they say
tiny.
if you feel a little friction with your card, maybe there's an issue.
I feel like if the card goes in and it's a little tight, I'm like, oh, it's secure. It's in there. It's not.
I would have thought that same
I
thing.
don't know. Anyway,
too.
Lewis is continuing to follow this story. He says the Secret Service has about 23 teams on the ground. They're trying to hit like between 800 and 1,000 locations between today, and they're at it again tomorrow.
Oh, the nice thing is if it's inside like that, you can look at that camera footage
Yeah.
and catch this person. I think that's why they usually stick to the gas pumps. The security video out there is
Yeah,
more
not as
grainy
great,
that you might
not
be
as
able to
great.
get out of there without a
Yeah.
hoodie.
Well, now we're on to you.
Yes, we got you. All right. Well, we have talked a ton about e-bikes this year. I feel like
Mhm.
2025 has been the year of the e-bike.
Yeah.
So many of these local areas, these schools and these local governments are struggling to try to figure out what the rules are here, because right now they're regulated just like a regular bike, except these things can go 30, sometimes if you trick them out 40 miles
Crazy
an hour.
fast. Yeah.
And you've got a 11-year-old on something that can go 40 on a sidewalk.
You don't
These
need a
kids
license for
don't
it.
know the rules.
Yeah.
There's no licensing required. So because we have seen a lot of these crashes involving kids, we just showed some video last night at 11 of a kid just plowing right into the side of a car.
Yeah.
And that looked like it hurt. They're flying around on these things. So Orange County is trying to tackle this issue, giving us a little more insight into maybe how some of these local municipalities are going to start dealing with these and putting rules into place. Your community correspondent, Tylisa Hampton, takes a look.
I'm News 6's Tylisa Hampton. The commissioners for Orange County, they had their meeting this morning right inside this building to talk about things just like this e-scooter right here. I spoke with people from the community. They tell me as they're walking along the sidewalk like this one, they've almost been hit. Now, some of them say they want a county ordinance to be done. From Orange County leaders
I've almost been hit with my kids by an e-bike who was riding on the sidewalk.
to people who share the same concern.
They're basically just going as fast as they can, and it's frightening.
Micro-mobility devices, e-bikes, e-scooters, kick scooters are creating safety concerns. Commissioner Nicole Wilson brought those worries to Tuesday's meeting, pushing for possible safety rules, a study, or stronger enforcement.
I had heard a lot of issues and concerns about the use of micromobility vehicles, motorized vehicles.
Different e-bike classes mean different top speeds, often around 20 miles per hour. Yet some riders go faster and without helmets.
These kids can jailbreak the scooters. I don't know how they do it. I've seen them. It's like, oh, it takes like 5 minutes or whatever, but they're able to take off any speed safeguards and get them to go as fast as 40 miles an hour.
When you have somebody that's 60, 70, 80 years old that's struck by one of these vehicles, they're not going to just bounce up and continue their walk. Their lifestyle is going to be totally devastated.
So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I own an e-bike. This is going to be a very difficult thing for local municipalities to be able to police. So I have an
How
e-bike.
fast does your e-bike go, though?
Mine will go 32. It's limited at that, which is pretty
Limited,
fast.
that's
I wouldn't
fast,
really
yeah.
want my preteen to be riding that fast.
Yeah.
You certainly shouldn't ride it that fast on a sidewalk or passing by people, but it has that ability. Now there are different classes. So a class 2 is the normal legal e-bike that goes 20 miles an hour. When my bike shipped to me, it goes 32, but there's a sticker on it that says it's a class 2 in case a cop ever asks me what I'm
is
right.
this?
I could just say
A class 2,
you
sir.
could just lie and say, well, it's a class 2. You see the sticker right here,
Yeah.
which you could make on any sort of
Any printer, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they try to police these. Are they going to be, shooting radar with the kids, and if they go over the speed limit, then they'll know which class they are? Because that's.
I mean, you bought yours from a website that was legitimate. There are some, a TikTok of someone who bought one of these bikes on Temu, and she was like,
boy.
"I bought this for my dad," like thinking he would tool around the neighborhood, and she was like, "I want you to see how fast it goes." And I was like, "Where is this going?" So I thought, "Oh, it's going to be like a really slow." She was a blur.
She flew by the camera.
She was
It
like,
probably lasted a week on Temu. Was it made out of toothpicks? My word.
But you shouldn't be flying that fast on anything with two wheels like that can be taken on.
Yeah,
a
I think
sidewalk.
they're great. I think they're great for grown-ups.
Sure.
If you ride to work, if you're close to your
Gosh,
work.
you don't have a car.
Nice and easy, no gas. They're easy to park. I think they could change the whole landscape
for
of
the environment.
transportation.
Bottom line.
However, you put a kid on something that's that fast,
Yeah.
and they don't know traffic laws, I think you start getting into a
Yeah,
gray area.
you really do. Okay, so I mentioned it is good for the environment. Something that a lot of people are mad about that might not be so great for the environment. We live on the Space Coast, tons of rocket launches. So we just had a Starlink satellite launch today, a little after 5 o'clock. And we've had more than 100 of those this year so far. I think that breaks a record. Well, now the Space Coast has gotten permission to launch Starship. And if you don't know what Starship is, that's the world's largest rocket. It is the size of a 40-story building at 403 feet tall and about 30 feet wide. It is ginormous. And people are excited that, you get to see this tower being built to support that thing out at the Space Coast. Well, people are worried about what it will do to the environment every time it launches. Our community correspondent, James Barbero, has more on the back and forth debate.
At the bottom of this massive crane next to Launch Pad 39A, you can see the first segment of what will be the Starship launch tower. I'm your Cape Canaveral community correspondent, James Barbero. So that was me 3 years ago standing here at Kennedy Space Center. Now look at the launch pad built for the most powerful rocket in human history. After years watching this towering addition to Pad 39A take shape, SpaceX was just approved to build more Starship pads here. This animation shows 2 Starships at the current site of Launch Complex 37, and SpaceX says construction has started already. With 3 launch pads in Florida, Starship will be ready to support America's national security and Artemis goals as the world's premier spaceport continues to evolve to enable airport-like operations.
To be able to support Starship.
Space Force Colonel Brian Chapman talked about the importance to national security when I asked him about the environmental concerns some of you have about Starship.
Keep it in Texas.
That's what Bill Lundell told me at a public meeting this summer about Starship's future here.
We already had enough explosions out here. I watched the Challenger blow up 40 years ago this January. One of those coming here is just not worth the environmental cost.
The military...
Yeah, keep it in Texas is what he says and what a lot of other people are saying. They launch right now out of Boca Chica, Texas. But if it happens, we could see the first launch this summer sometimes. Here's the problem. This year alone, SpaceX has attempted 5 launches.
How many of them have blown up, Ginger?
4. So we have a best of reel to show you just some of those launches and what has happened. And this is what people are concerned about, because when it blows up like this, look at this. I think this one was from January.
Oh, look at that rainbow.
I know. And we got people like sending us videos like, what is happening?
I mean, that has to be good for you when that comes to the ground.
Yeah.
Goes
And by
into your
good, you
local
mean
lake.
terrible. Okay. And then there was another one this year. This one, I think, happened in March. Thank you, Matt. The other Matt. We have 2 Matts here. It's Matt Brown.
You're welcome,
directing.
Ginger.
Look, I mean, it's crazy. All of this stuff could potentially, and it's going to end up in the water because that's where it's going to go. And a lot of people are wondering, okay, what does that do to the environment? Do we have another one, Matt? Roll it. Okay, this one is from when? June. Look at that one, didn't even make it off the launch pad. This is crazy. And I know people will come out and they will see this because they expect this will happen probably. I think SpaceX calls it as unscheduled rapid disassembly.
Yeah.
Is there another one, Matt Brown? Okay, that's it. That's enough.
How many do you need, Ginger?
But
I think
just,
so.
that's just this year.
Well, that's right. And that's just, okay, they're trying to hammer out some kinks.
Of
And I
course.
think if you look at history, they probably will get it to
Oh
where
my
this
gosh,
thing
this is the
takes
way to
off
do it.
and lifts off and drops down. And
You got to
lands
crack
just
some
fine.
eggs, right?
But it's not just that. When this thing starts, I mean, the jet fuel used in this is a mixture of methane and oxygen. A lot of that burns up into the atmosphere. Okay. Outside of that, we just today have a story about Blue Origin, the rocket company,
Wanting to dump some stuff in the pond.
So they are washing a ton of their stuff has heavy metals in it and these fuels that they have to get rid of. And so they are dumping, and they're allowed to dump into this spillway that then goes into the Indian River, something like hundreds of millions of gallons of waste.
And we do so many stories on the Indian River Lagoon and protecting it and keeping it clean. And here you have this being dumped in it. Although the people with Blue Origin say that they take great care and what they're dumping in there. Of course, you have to say that. But still, when you see all of that happening to the environment, and we're doing it, I know it's progress. And you have to, something's got to
You
give.
have
though.
to balance
Something's
it
got to
with
give.
the economy, because that Space Coast is
Oh,
thriving right now.
thank
with all
goodness.
of those businesses coming in.
'Cause
We want rockets to be going off.
Of course, because remember, after the shuttle program ended in 2011, it was a ghost town, and now it is just really starting to build itself up again to the spectacular Space Coast we all know
Yeah.
and we all
That
love.
is the balance
That is,
that we
yeah,
have to
for
strike.
sure.
It'll be
All right,
interesting. We'll be covering that a lot.
stay with us, because we have a story that is. This is the case for people who say, this is why I don't go to the gym. This is why I don't work out. We've had an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease.
I'm
and-
worried about that Legionnaires. That's why I don't go to the gym.
It's pretty serious. We'll talk about it when we come back.
That's a terrible.
Yeah, and you got the links from the show just a little while ago, I think. So we'll make sure we have that for News 6 tonight. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We know you're busy, but news doesn't stop, and neither do we.
That's right. And this is News 6 Tonight, where we leverage this entire busy newsroom with our community correspondents, our producers, our content desk, and then we filter through that. We have a casual conversation about the news that impacts Central Florida.
Yeah, we live here in the community, and we rely on you for our neighborhood network because you're our eyes and ears as well, and we can't do it without you.
So you can watch us all over the place, YouTube, News 6 Plus app, and clickorlando.com. While you're here, feel free to engage. Let us know who you are and where you're from. She thinks I should have softer, more delicate hands.
I didn't say
I
that.
don't
said
think
get a manicure.
I don't think that that's the case. You want rough man hands, even though I'm a news anchor. Hey, welcome back to News 6 Tonight. Glad to have you with us. One story we've been following very closely. This is in Groveland. So Kroger spent just oodles and oodles of cash opening a giant facility. Why didn't they just open a grocery store, Ginger? If they were asking me for financial advice,
They didn't.
they jumped fully into the grocery delivery business during COVID. They said, this is going to be our
This is
future.
us. This is us now.
That CEO, I don't know if he still has a job, but I don't think it's going to last a whole lot longer.
wow.
Because they
This is why
built
they
this
didn't call
massive
you.
facility. They hired thousands of people. They had all sorts of drivers and people who were packing stuff. They were bringing all of this economic value to the area. So local municipalities there in the county and in the city,
Made a
they
huge
tossed
investment.
them some incentives to try to get them there.
Yes.
Little tax break action. Well, they didn't last 10 years. So now
Maybe 2.
the
maybe
locals
2
are like,
years.
how about you hand us that cash back to the tune of $1.3 million. So we've been following this story very closely, specifically because we want to know how these workers are going to fare. And that money, if the municipalities can get it, is going to go back to those workers, we hear. So your community correspondent, Emily McLeod, has been following the story closely. And she says that they're feeling pretty good about getting this cash back.
I'm your Lake County community correspondent, Emily McLeod, and Lake County Commissioner Sean Parks believes there may be a potential breach of contract here, considering the facility is closing prior to the 10-year agreement expiring. Now, not only did the county take steps forward on Tuesday to try and recover those economic incentive payments, but they're also taking steps forward to try and help those who are impacted by this closure who need to find new jobs.
I think personally they're in breach of the 10-year agreement.
Lake County commissioners are moving forward to try and recover more than $1.3 million in economic incentive payments made to Kroger and Ocado Solutions.
I believe that there is cause for us to get the previous few years of that money back.
Lake County had 10-year economic incentive agreements in place with Kroger and Ocado. In order to get the annual payments, the companies had to meet specific requirements, which included creating jobs at a certain wage level.
So it is the county's position that since those positions will not be retained for the full 10 years of the term of the agreement, that we have an opportunity to recoup the funding that was provided in the prior tax years.
Commissioners also approved reallocating $400,000 budgeted for 2026 incentive payments to help people impacted by the closure and designated 10% to road projects.
And actually help the employees that were laid off through job training.
So all that money, again, if they pull that back, it goes to job training and job placement for these folks.
I
who
like that
I'm
idea.
sure
I really
need
do.
it. So
Yeah.
I would imagine $1 million isn't really that much money when you're talking about Kroger and that giant facility. They're probably going to have, another thing I'm curious about, who are they going to sell this thing to? Is it going to maybe become
Some
a
kind
data
of tech,
center?
yeah,
Maybe
some
it'll
tech
get
company.
sold to
but-
Amazon or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And they'll probably make some money on
I mean, $1 million is not a lot to Kroger, but it's a lot to Groveland in
it.
that
Is.
community.
And to those workers,
Of
it
course.
could really help them out.
Yeah, it really could. So I'm glad that they are going to be able to hopefully recoup those losses and then turn it into something good for that community, and maybe something better will come along for them, because it seemed like that was the solution. That's
Yeah.
1,400. That's a lot of
Yeah,
jobs.
it's really painful for
Yeah,
that area.
it really is. The story we talked about before we went to the break was an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease. And it sounds like some sort of old-timey thing that you don't hear a whole lot
Sounds
about.
bougie to me. Honey, I picked up some Legionnaire's disease.
You
in
don't, well,
Cabo.
we'll put it down because you don't want it. And there's several cases in Central Florida, all being connected to a gym in Ocoee. And our community correspondent, Laverne McGee, has part of that story.
A lawyer told me today that more people are coming forward, even one more person today. And the health department told me today that they are researching. Now, on Friday, I went to Crunch Fitness on Silver Star Road in Ocoee to ask them about the allegations. Now, they told me to leave the premises. But when I was there, a lady told me that she saw a sign inside about it. According to the Centers for Disease Control, Legionnaire's disease is a serious type of pneumonia. People can get it by breathing in mist. And in general, it isn't spread from person to person. And some symptoms include cough, fever, and muscle aches. And several law firms have clients who say they've been affected. So today I spoke with attorney Eric Hagman, who says his firm is representing 5 people affected.
Yeah, and just one person came forward today saying, I think I may have Legionnaire's disease, and I think it may be tied to this one place we're talking about. It's just one of those scary things. And as she said, it doesn't go from person to person, but just it's in the ventilation. It can be in the mist or
About hot
whatever.
tubs. I've had that.
Saunas, things,
Yeah.
places that are moist and, grow bacteria and things. But it can cause some serious side
Fatality
effects.
rate of
Yeah.
10%. Usually people
that's
with
a big
weakened
deal.
immune systems, not something
It's a big
you
deal.
want to mess with.
No, you don't.
All right, you know what I want to mess with? This weather. I am loving it. We have meteorologist Jonathan
Some
Kegas.
rain in
He's
there.
joining us now. Yeah, we
And
did
it's
get a
gonna
little
turn
rain.
cooler.
The cold front, has it arrived officially, Jonathan, or are we still waiting for it to get here?
Still waiting for it. Did you see rain today?
Yeah, I saw
I
a
saw some.
smidge.
I saw, and
Okay,
it was
yeah,
windy.
just
Windy. It
just
blew
a
over
little-
some of my Christmas decorations.
Yes, yeah. The breeze is kicking up. The cold front's going to cross overnight, and we'll really feel the impact of it through the afternoon tomorrow, where we'll shave off the. So it's still going to be pretty warm when you wake up, relatively speaking. A little cooler today. It's weird because it's going to be cooler by about 10 degrees when you wake up this morning, but it's still warmer than what it should be for this time of the year. And then in the afternoon, that's when we kind of trickle things back down a little bit. I want to show you the rainfall map. So there's your Scotia. We'll take what we can get, but that's the official number in the rain gauge at the Orlando International Airport. 0.02 of an inch, guys. All the Panhandle stole. They need it though. There's a big time drought going on up toward Tallahassee. So they can have that rain. Maybe we'll get it next time. I think we are going to be watching for a bigger system to come through this weekend. So rain chance is going to go up a little bit and more cold coming behind it. So that is what we are going to focus on coming up at 9:30. It's also Tuesday. We're going to play some trivia. Now they're out of hurricane season. It's Trivia Tuesday.
You can have some fun now. Yeah.
Oh, we can have some fun now. Not as many trolls to take down. So
I am curious as to this trivia, this weather trivia. We'll
Troll trivia. Okay, thank you, Jonathan.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart. Also good looking, because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down
Oh my
below.
gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh. Myself. Hey, thanks for watching News 6 Tonight. We have had a great time with you.
Yeah, thank you. We hope that you join us. Check us out on air at 11 o'clock. We'll have more of your top stories, and then you can go to bed and have a really good night, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, that sounds so nice.